Comedian and Comedy Central writer Dave Helem talks passion, preparation, and profit. Hey, it's Chandria, and today we're talking passion, preparation, and profit. And my special guest is comic and writer Dave Helem.
Hey.
How's it going?
I'm great, man.
Thanks for being a guest today. I really appreciate it. Okay. Now, you're a comedian. You're a comedian first, then writer? Or which one were you more passionate about first?
Everything I've gotten has come from stand-up. So every writing job I've gotten has come from me being a stand-up comic. Every acting job I've gotten has come from me being on stage.
Okay.
So I definitely say stand-up is first.
Okay. Now, as a comedian coming from Chicago and now living in Los Angeles, what was that transition like? How long have you been doing what you do?
Man, I was blessed. I was coming from D.C. Doing a show from Second City called Black Side of the Moon. And I came back to Chicago and I was like, man, I don't want to be here. I kind of feel like I outgrew the city.
Right.
And then I interviewed for a show here called Hoodie on Comedy Central in October of last year, and I didn't get it. So I was like, man, all right. So I got
You interviewed to be on the show?
to be a writer. For
Okay, I see.
And I felt good about it. I was like, I felt like the interview went well, but I didn't have any experience.
Okay.
Right? So I didn't get it. So I came back to Chicago in January, and I was just like, it's gray and cold in Chicago.
Yes.
And then my boy James Davis, is his show, hit me up and said, hey, we're trying to bring you on. It's opening. So I came out January.
So at that time you were back in Chicago?
I literally
You had moved back. Had you ever moved to LA, or you just came out here for that opportunity?
We were in DC for 2 months doing the show, and the show was over. So I went back with just going back to Chicago because that's just what it was. And I'm literally doing a stand-up set. And I get off the stage, and I my phone's blinking, and I say I got an email. It's my manager. He said, "Yo, buy your ticket to LA. You start work on Monday on this show." I'm just like,
buy your ticket to LA. You start work on Monday on a show that you had already been told that you weren't going.
You better
to
be lucky I had some money.
To buy here.
But I moved. I stayed on couches, on floors. And that was 9 months ago.
Wow. Look at that. I mean, to talk about passion, you're obviously passionate about making people laugh. You're passionate about entertaining. So, how long have you been doing, a life as a comic? Is it something that you were just, or have you always just been the funny guy who, no?
I've never, I was funny, but I was always the dude that got roasted a lot of times. So, I would have, an inner funny person, but it would be, trapped inside. Because I was just kind of like the nerd, like the black nerd.
Okay.
So I was married in Atlanta, and I went through a divorce, and I was like, you know what? If my life is here right now, which is not really in a good space, let me just try something. And I tried it, and I loved it. That was 8 years ago, and I've been doing it full time for the last 2 years. I used to be a high school math teacher.
Wow!
Yeah.
You taught math. You went from the nerdy black kid. You were married, you got divorced, you were teaching high school math, you were living in Atlanta. Then you flipped and said, you know what?
Then I moved back to Chicago, and I started doing stand-up.
Started doing stand-up, and how here you are living in LA,
Tell me.
writing on a hit show.
Yeah, man.
How was that experience been writing that's on Comedy Central?
Yeah, it's called Hoodie on Comedy Central. It's a great show. It was a great experience. It's good coming to work doing what you love.
Yes.
And then they bring you your check every Thursday.
Oh, profits.
They find you.
And give you your money.
Give you your money. Now you got to give 10% of that money to somebody, like your management,
right.
And they tax the hell out of it. But nothing like it, man. I was just like, ooh, this is all my money?
For me?
This is my money?
So, you're living your dream, but you're also living someone else's dream at this time. I think that's what LA is built on, passion. It's built on people that come here for whatever they want to do, whatever they can't sleep at night thinking about. And so many of us, I'll include myself, you're doing things that may not necessarily pay you, but you have to work your way up. You're hustling, you're grinding, and you're doing that thing.
Absolutely.
And you're not making any money, or you're not making what that you really need to get by. And I wanted to interview you because I feel like I've been watching. You're from Chicago, you're from the hometown. But furthermore, you're the epitome of that dream that so many people share, that they want to turn that passion, preparing, you're grinding, you're hustling, you're networking, and you're just continuing to work your craft, and then an opportunity comes, and I feel like now you're getting a check every Thursday, So what advice do you have for someone who may be on the brink of giving up, may feel like it's too hard, may feel like I love what I do, but it's taxing. I'm on couches.
You have to be willing to risk it all. You know what I mean? Like I've sacrificed so many relationships, like through love and people who I've dated.
Who couldn't handle how dedicated you were to the craft?
Yes, that a lot of times, or even knowing that I didn't want to be in Chicago and dating somebody, and I'm just like, man, like
that was in Chicago,
right? And being like, you know what, you're a great lady,
but I don't want to be. I'm not gonna be.
I'm not gonna be here, so let me not waste your time. I don't want to be an F boy. You know what I'm saying? So so having them conversations, and women hate you when you say that, but then like after like 2 months, and they unblock you, then you have a conversation, they be like, thank you. Well, some of them do.
Thank you for being honest and direct with me like that.
I'm still blocked for some of them, but some of them see the light and be like, I'm proud of you.
Why do we do that?
Man, I don't.
Like, I'm breaking up with you. How do you have to block me? I'm not gonna reach out.
Yo, the petty level.
The petty level is high.
Petty Watt, Petty Murphy, like it's.
I'm working with you and you're blocking me. Okay, but I get it.
But people, so that's my advice is like you have to be willing to. If you have talent and you put every amount of effort you have into doing something, I think there's a majority of the time you'll be successful. But people don't have the work ethic half the time. Well, they have the talent, they just don't put enough grind into it. It's like I don't know really anybody, honestly, who was very talented, who was grinding, who was not making sure. I know people who grind who don't have talent.
Yes.
And I'm like, please.
And then vice versa, there aren't a lot of people who have talent and they don't grind as hard as they should.
I know so many people who don't have talent and they just grind. And they have great graphic editors, so they make amazing flyers.
And they make them look good.
But they have nothing.
Especially comics.
Oh, gosh.
There's a lot of bad comics.
I want to go back to the time before they had, because remember, like, back in the day, like, people had to give you a flyer. Like, NBC would make you a flyer if you was on the Tonight Show. You couldn't just make your own flyer. Now, we got access to flyers, and they tricking people.
You have Fiverr, you have all these things to make dynamic flyers, and then you go to the show.
And then, like, you suck, but you got a good flyer. You tricked me with that flyer.
It's not going to happen again. Yeah, but then you lose your following that way, because people trusted you, and you let me down.
Yeah, man.
Well, congratulations on all of your success. So outside of Hood Adjacent, are you working on anything else? I know you do a dope-ass comedy show. You're still doing that every week?
Man, I do that every Thursday at the Bronson bar in Hollywood on Sunset and Bronson. And that's really cool because that's turning into, you got to come.
I'm coming.
Okay, it's free. It's every Thursday. And if you get there early, it's real sexy too.
Do they serve food there?
No, but you can bring food inside, but they have these booths. So it's like one of them old school like bars where it's like you walk in, you're like, oh.
It's like sophisticated. Nice. It's like
and then
it's a little sexy in there.
I put a movie on in the background.
In the background?
Yeah, you can't hear it, but it's on. Okay. So my comments are like performing. It's like whatever movie I want to put on. So I might show Boomerang.
Oh, okay.
CB4 or something like that.
CB4.
But I like CB4. But we had Tony Rock come close out the show.
Okay.
I got Kyle Kinane this week, which is a big deal. And I want people to understand, like, it's not just like a black show. It's mostly black, but it's also very diverse at the same time.
And great comics, great talent.
Great comics.
Hilarious
Clayton
people.
English from Atlanta, Georgia. He just won Last Comic Standing.
Okay. He was there last Thursday?
He closed our show out the week before. And I mean,
so this is your show. You're hosting this. You're putting this together.
This is my
your
baby.
Night.
I used to have this show in Chicago.
Okay.
And I brought it out to LA.
No, you just did a show in Chicago where you were flying back a couple times. Is this the same show or is it something different?
That's a dope ass show in Chicago.
Oh, I see.
This is a dope ass show in LA.
Okay. But
it's the same show, but it's just.
I know. I just want to make. I didn't know if it was like another name.
Same blueprint.
Okay. Are you gonna go to other cities and do dope shows there? Or?
I want to have a dope ass show in New York eventually. You know,
that'll be good.
And they have like all three of them going at the same time, and Atlanta as well. But you asked me, do I have anything else going on? Yes, we have a web series that Comedy Central is producing.
How?
Called Blitzers, Black Hipsters.
Okay.
Right? So that's gonna be filmed in Chicago. That's gonna be like, let me give you an example of a show. Have you ever seen Broad City?
Broad City?
Broad City.
No.
Okay, Broad City was the best way I can put it. I'm trying to think of a black sitcom. Imagine Malcolm and Eddie.
Okay.
Remember back in the day, Malcolm and Eddie? Imagine Malcolm and Eddie if Malcolm and Eddie were two black hipsters living in Chicago, two bearded black men with just talking about a lot of political things and that affect, because we got to fit in this space of like, we like sophisticated. I like Jameson, I like craft beer, and like when I go around my family on the south side, they be like, what is that? Like, why are you drinking that? that's an IPA that's nasty. Like, give me an MGD. But I don't like MGD because that's basic. You know what I'm saying? Like.
So when you're saying we, who's this we?
What you mean?
You were saying we're producing this
oh,
this
me and my guy Felonious Monk.
Oh, okay.
Who is also on Comedy Central as well. And you know, we just represent like the black folks in the middle where like we're not hood, but we're not trying to be white neither. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like this space of
just us.
Just us, you know what I mean? So we got 5 episodes that we've written. And they're really good.
Hey,
they're really good.
Well, congrats on that. You're like Comedy Central is home and you're doing amazing things. 9 months, that's amazing. So keep up the great work.
Trying to, man.
Drop your social media so people can stay in tune with the journey.
Okay. It's just my name. And if you're not, it's my name on every format, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. This is Dave Helem. That's Dave, Helem.
You follow him today. You heard it here first.
You should, man.
Thanks for talking to me today.
A lot of good stuff.
I appreciate you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.